Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Saturday, November 27th, and this is I was going to say your daily financial news, but I've already done that. I've already done that this morning. This is your live Q&A, your questions, my answers. Good morning, Dion. How you doing? Good morning, Tamika. Oh, sounds like you are in Hawaii. Aloha. Wow, it's early in Hawaii. It's like 6 a.m., I think. Yeah, I think so. Thank you for joining. Is it 6 a.m.? Yeah, it's 8, right? 8 minus 2 is 6. Yeah, there we go. Good morning, Nathan. How are you? Dos amigos. That's awesome. Good morning. Yes, the reason I'm kind of sitting weird is Sonny is sleeping on my lap. Sonny got his first haircut yesterday, and yeah, he's sitting on my lap. Happy? Pretty far away. I might go get her later, but we'll see. So yes, those are my puppies. Thank you for asking, Nathan. That means a lot to me. Obviously, I'm a dog guy, so very, very cool. So what? Wow, 12 p.m. here in Puerto Rico. Good morning, man. You guys are awesome. So I have 4 topics that I want to talk about. But remember, this hour is for you. So do me a favor, leave your comments, questions in the chat. I will definitely get to them. If you just want to say hi or hello or something, leave those. I will do my best to call out each and every one of you. Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time on Saturday during what I hope for you is a 4-day weekend. So, a couple of things. So, first and foremost, I was watching. Did you? I think I gotta reach out to the lumberjack because Grant Cardone yesterday or the day before did a 5-hour live stream talking about real estate investing. Uh, I could not do 5 hours. I think my voice would go. But the lumberjack, he's been close a couple of times. I think he's done a 4-hour one. So maybe we need to see if the lumberjack can stand up and beat Grant Cardone 5-hour session. But anyways, the reason I bring that up is right in the beginning of his session, I watched about an hour of it as I was on my run. He talked about 3 things that changed his life. I thought that was an interesting discussion. If you haven't seen the video, I will share those 3 with you. But more importantly, I will share my 3 things that changed my life. And I would love you to think about what are the 3 things that's changed your life and just sent you on a different trajectory. Again, this is a time of reflection for me, so I thought I would share that with you. So, number one, let me get my notes over here so I don't stare off to the side. Actually, you know what? One sec. I got a question. Is it too early for this? It's no longer Thanksgiving. Is it too early? I had this from last year and I found it and I'm like, Oh, Lumberjack says he went 6 hours, so he wins. So I'm just curious, is it too soon for this or not? So I don't know. Crazy. Anyways, maybe tomorrow. I thought that was funny. So 3 things that changed Grant's life. One is he stopped using drugs. That is obviously a big deal, right? If you're on drugs, your weight is a problem. If you're not around to enjoy what you are working on, let's fix that, right? There's a lot of people that were now in this Three Amigos FI Facebook group. When they reach out for help or discussion with us, they have a lot of stuff going on, but sometimes there's like that one thing you got to take care of. And if you don't do that, nothing else matters. I would suspect for lots of people, getting off drugs would be number one. So that is important. Number two, for Grant, it is very interesting to see him tweak his message. He now credits that first house. Yes, Grant Cardone bought a single family home. Grant credits that first house in his list of 3, which I think is amazing. He went on to talk about it for a while. He basically invested $3,000, made 4,200 when you take appreciation and cash flow. He talks about it being the best 3,000 he ever made. This is a guy that's clearly made hundreds of millions of dollars, and he credits one rental at a time house with setting him on his way. I actually listened to that part a couple of times. I thought that was pretty interesting. Um, yeah, that is pretty interesting. And then Number three is he continually had education. If you remember, I reached out to the Grant Cardone team trying to interview him on my channel, which they declined. They said, no, thank you. Um, but what I wanted to ask him is Grant had a gap in his real estate investing, right? He bought the house, sold the house, took 2 or 3 years, and then bought a 16 or 18 unit building. I always wanted to ask Grant, tell us about that window. He clearly was busting his ass during the day, but he was learning something. He doesn't talk about that a lot. So that's what I've always wanted to ask. But that is what Grant said. So, what are the three things that changed my life? And I've actually changed this list 4 times. Because again, it's three, right? There's lots of things that sent me on different trajectories. So here are my three. And again, I share my three with you so you can get quiet and maybe think about your three. So for me, number one was taking that speech class, or I think it was called public speaking at De Anza Junior College I think I was 19. I was an introvert. I would just as easily be quiet and silent for hours in a room full of people. I was not very confident. That class got me out of my shell. It was very uncomfortable. But by the end of the class, I had a new skill that would go on to make me millions and millions of dollars. That speech class changed my life. That is number one. Number two, I found my investing vehicle, something that operates at my rhythm. If you know my story at all, you know I took a dive into stocks. I won and then I lost. Stocks don't move at my rhythm. I am clearly emotional. I get too high, get too low, even though I try to manage it. I am one of those investors that might have sold out on Friday just into the wash instead of waiting to see if there's follow through. That's just who I am. You got to know thyself. Stocks are not for me. Good or bad, I'm a spectator, not a fan. I'm not in the game, and I won't be in the game. Real estate is my speed. I can do my research. I can locate my market. I can find the inefficiencies in the market. I can't sell in a moment of being pissed off. Gosh darn it, that tenant didn't pay. I'm going to sell that dump. Nope. Doesn't operate that way. It allows me to take a breath, calm down, and just go on with my business. So, number two for me is I found my rhythm, my investing vehicle that can operate at my just, we operate at the same pace. Stocks, crypto, any of those other things, couldn't do it. If your investing vehicle keeps you up at night, don't bother, right? That is number two for me. And then number three, this one I've changed a lot. And this might be, um, I might be looking into the future, and maybe this more is I hope it's true. But right now, for me, it's the fact that I didn't go back and get a job at 45. I was really, really, really close to getting just another job at 45. Instead, I took a leap. I did this one rental at a time thing. The one rental at a time thing is, interesting to my family. However, I believe it's going to be what is my legacy. It will be the thing that I'm remembered for 50 years after I'm dead and gone. That is cool. If I go back and get a job at 45 after I left my last one, um, my family would have been fine, but I don't think I would have impacted lives. In my profession, I could impact dozens of people's lives, typically salespeople and pre-sales. Here, I'm already helping thousands. I want to help tens of thousands. And frankly, my ultimate goal is 1 million. I want to help 1 million people buy their first or next rental property, right? One rental at a time. What I've now come to realize is every year I'm going to try to double the goal, right? One sec. So right now, I think we're at 308, is it? Or maybe it's 298. I think it's 298. We're whatever we get to by June 30th, we're going to double that goal next year, or May 31st. Sorry, May 31st. If we get to 712, the goal is 1424. If we get to 560, the goal's 1120. And then the next year it will double, and the next year will double. I think that's going to be cool. So for me, again, speech class, public speaking, I found an investing vehicle that allows me to use my focus and daily discipline and doesn't hurt me when I'm emotional. And then finally, I didn't go back to work. So those are my three. Those are my three. So that's one of my four topics. Why don't I go to the chat and see if there's anything there, and we will say good morning to everyone because you all are so amazing. So again, good morning, Dion. Good morning, Tamika. Good morning, Nathan. Good morning, Nathan. Yep, Tamika's in Hawaii. Aloha. Jeff, I rarely get to listen on Saturday morning, but I'm driving and listening today. Good morning. Hey, Jeff. Good morning. Tubito123. Thank you for watching from Puerto Rico. I hope you're having an amazing day. Nathan, happy looks like the sesame. I think happy looks like a. I was gonna say Ewok, but yeah, Ewok from Star Wars. It's really funny. Better Home Rental. Good morning. How are you, Rob? Uh, Gauntlet was dropped. Ah, yes, that's funny. Lumberjack Grant's trying to catch up. I went 6 hours. Oh, gotcha. Lumberjack's a rock star. I don't know how his voice handled that. Never too early to smile. Totally agree. Rob, nope, not too soon. Oh, not too soon. Cool. I can wear the hat. Awesome. I think I'll put that on in a minute. Cap looks good. Good. Never too early for Christmas. All right. You guys win. You guys have spoken. I will take off my hat and put this on because I like this. Sorry, one sec. Go through my. It's okay. It's okay. I might say real estate is a drug. Ah, yes. The stream is for addicts. Yes, I like it. Good morning, Janet. How are you? Good morning, Dion. You guys are awesome. Oh, where are we going? Something went wrong. I'm sorry, John. Question: can you share more on your early 10 years you mentioned before career in retail? Oh, yeah, sure. What did you learn from this? What did you do? Why did you leave? Sure. So I'll give you my job history up until I graduated college. So my family was dead broke. Talked about a lot of times. I had to put food in the fridge as a 12-year-old. So I got a job under the table working in a dry cleaner. That sucked. That clearly was the worst job I ever had. Chemicals. Yeah, yucky. So from there, I think at the time you couldn't get a jobs permit until you were 13. So 12-year-olds under the table. 13, I got a job at a fast food joint, Wiener Schnitzel, which was walking distance from my home. That's why I could work there. From there, I went to Sears in Roebuck. Sears, I was selling Craftsman tools on commission. I did that for 6 years and then got promoted to washers and dryers, which was full commission. So at Sears, I learned that the harder you work, the more you get paid. When I was working in hardware, which is like Craftsman tools, routers, saws, circular saws, rip saws, or saws, or whatever they're called. I did not know the most about tools, but I was the hardest worker. I realized that the people coming to shop had a need, and the sooner I could find that out, the sooner I would get a commission. In hardware, I made 1%. I made 3% on like compressors and paint sprayers and things like that. And then when I went upstairs to washers and dryers, they called it white goods. I made 1% to 10% based on the model that we sold. So a couple of things I learned. First off, when I was 16 years old, I was making 20 grand a year. I was flush. I had a tricked out car stereo. I had a cell phone in my car. Yes, folks, they used to install phones in the car, like drill it into the floor, pick it up. I had a I had a pager or a beeper as they called it. 1-800 Sky Talk, Sky something. So I had all the toys. I had all the toys as a 16-year-old. It was probably the time I was rich at 16. No expenses, money coming. Sears paid weekly. It was awesome. But again, I didn't know about money. If I could have saved that money, I'd be so much farther ahead. So I learned about people. I learned about hard work. I learned about overtime. Again, wasn't an investor yet. Wasn't an investor. I was just a hard worker. Um, what else? When I went upstairs, the world changed because in hardware, it was really a bunch of teenagers working. But when you went upstairs, those were the sharks lived. I was the youngest person selling washers and dryers by decades. People upstairs, we always called it upstairs because that's where they were, right? They were upstairs. They were their youngest guy besides me was 40. They were making 100 grand a year. This is probably 1986, 87. I don't know what 100 grand is in 87 to today, but they were making a lot of money. These guys were, um, they had probably worked at Sears for 10 or 15 years, uh, making six figures, and upstairs were sharks. It was the first time where I saw bad behavior, lying, stealing people's deals, because these people were the difference between downstairs, which were just teenagers, it didn't really matter, right? Whoever sold the $40 drill made 40 cents or whatever it was. But upstairs, you sold the right washer and dryer, you could make I don't know, 300 bucks. They were It was a different world. I was very naive. I learned about greed, lying, stealing, side deals like, hey, you take care of me, I take care of you. It was it was a weird first year just watching grown men and grown women behave badly. That was pretty eye-opening. And then I graduate college. I get a day job at Quantum as an accountant. Quantum disk drive doesn't exist anymore. I think it's a part of Mac Store or Seagate, one of those. And I still keep my job at Sears. Again, I've been a hustler my whole life. So I go from working 30 hours a week at Sears to working 16. I worked 40 hours at Quantum or more. Then I worked one night a week and Saturday, Sunday. So I worked 7 days a week for a couple of years. So that's kind of my early career, I think. And why did you leave? Um, I moved into sales. I moved into pre-sales and made more money, and I was traveling. It's hard to work at Sears when you're in Europe or in Australia. So I was comfortable working two jobs, but it wasn't practical. Yeah, it wasn't practical. So that's why I quit. When did you make the mental shift from simply buying a house or two, three, four, changing financial future to becoming a realist? Oh, this is a good question. For me, I felt like a real estate investor after my first 1031 exchange because the first eight houses I bought, again, six houses in a duplex, so that's eight units. Um, I don't really think I was a real estate investor, at least not in my mind. I was still a high paid software sales guy who was able to live below his means, and I knew how to do cash flow. I felt like a real estate investor after going to a couple of real estate meetups, after seeing Bruce Norris talk about the affordability index, researching the affordability index, making an investment decision to sell a house, that first house, which was an alligator at this point, and 1031 exchange. When I made that mental shift and executed that transaction, I felt like a real estate investor because I changed my thesis. My investing mantra for the first year, 6 years, were buy and hold forever. I didn't know any different. I didn't know there was a difference. I didn't know what a 1031 was. But once I realized that the affordability index is an indicator that my market was screaming, and the reason the affordability index spoke to me is because before I went to that meeting, I couldn't buy the ninth deal, but I didn't know why. It was like, why are people buying these? They don't cash flow. What are they doing? So that kind of cemented what I was thinking. So once I executed that, I sold Norris, bought Vassar, or exchanged to Vassar, which I still own today. I felt like a real estate investor because I used data to change my thesis and execute. So that's really when it changed for me. Yeah, that's when it changed for me. That's a good question, Tamika. I haven't had it asked that way before. Good morning, John. How are you? Where we go? Where we go? Where'd we go? Good morning, John. Jeff, relationship with God. Oh, one is relationship with God. Awesome. MBA with a minor in finance that helped me see that debt isn't always bad. Love that. Uh, it can be a tool. Absolutely. Hearing Dion and Bigger Pockets who introduced. Oh, Jeff, you're awesome. Thanks, Dion, for talking about one rental at a time on your. By the way, you know what? Well, first off, Jeff, thank you for that. Thank you, Dion. Anybody on here who is active on Bigger Pockets, could you push them, say, suggest to them, leave lots of comments, interview one rental at a time? I have filled out the online application. I've submitted it. I was interviewed 15 years ago. It'd be nice to come back on. So if you're active on Bigger Pockets this weekend, let's blow them up and let's see if they interview one rental at a time. That'd be fun. Sean, what are your thoughts on the new COVID strain effects on real estate? First off, I think we're going to have lots of new strains. This kind of feels like we're headed down the flu route to me. Um, I think that I think its impact on real estate won't be real estate directly. I think it'll be debt and interest rates. I think this could give reason for the Fed to pause tapering, not pause tapering, but slow tapering. I am of the record that they should taper faster. I think Powell will point at it as saying it's the great unknown, and oh my God, it's going to be different, and it'll taper slowly. So I think you and I, all of us watching this, we have more time to make a lot of money. Again, I created that shirt that says I use inflation to get rich. I mean every word of that. I'm getting as much debt as I can at 3 or 4%, and fixed rate 30-year debt. Let's not forget that. And I will just let inflation help me. You can't throw trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars into this. You can't cause wage inflation without a rise in rent and a rise in values. And I'm going to use inflation, and I think the new strain, which there'll be a new strain next year, and a one after that, and one after that. It's just here. Um, yeah, so I think we have. I thought the window was getting pretty closed. If you listen to Matt, the mortgage guy, and I talk on Wednesday, I think this freak out on Friday opened it a little bit. But we're going to know more next week. Right now, it's just all fear and uncertainty. Wait 7 to 14 days. We'll figure out what's going on. Janet, what are your thoughts on? Oh, thank you, Janet. I appreciate that. Ooh, Roldan, be safe. Have fun. Take care of yourself. We'll see you in a month. Oh, happy holidays. Oh, you're a nice guy. Look at that. Yep. Thank you for your service. You guys are wonderful. Yep. Stay safe. You guys are awesome people. Got a house hack deal accepted in San Diego on a duplex. Nice work. Moving out of my single family home in a duplex, going backwards to go forward. Everybody should clap for that. The cheat code to wealth. I got to tell you, if Anna Kelly, our Wednesday expert, is willing to sell her big old home in Texas, move into a fourplex with 2 kids, and I think a third on the way, I think anybody can do it. Rob, congratulations. Yes. Working on a duplex, live in Burr, 399 list, offer accepted 420, need 60K, need lowest cash in for need lowest cash in for rehab and fastest timeline to make ready. How would you negotiate? I don't understand. Let me try this one more time. Working on a duplex, live in Burr, okay, 399 list, got 420, need 60K. So okay. Need lowest cash in for rehab and fastest timeline to make ready. How would you negotiate? I'm confused. You already got an offer accepted at 420. Are you trying to retrade and get a discount? I'm not sure what that I'm not sure what that means. I need more information. I'm confused. Yeah. Doing 2-year leases on rents. What are your pros and cons? Um, Nathan, considering 2-year leases, it's really I let the tenants decide. I know Dion's binder strategy really goes for that. I think again, if you're self managing, I think 2-year leases are great. It's just less headaches, less turn, less all that. Um, yeah, I think they're great. For me, I pay a property manager, so we do 1 year, right? That's kind of what I pay him for. So, yeah. The other thing is in California, we have rent control that really forces yearly. I don't know where you're at, Nathan, but yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. All right, where's my second topic? Thank you for that. Let's remember where we are. Tamika's where we are. Number 2. Oh, I want to talk about why people are buying $100 million apartment buildings, and I want to go back to that cost segregation. If you don't know, one of somebody else we're adding to the channel for some interviews is cost segregation, and we just did my last purchase, my duplex. So I bought a duplex for 188. We took 20% for land, which meant 154. Bingo bango. After all said and done, I'm going to be able to write off $30,000 in depreciation, which will save me roughly $10,000 in cash. There's a video on my channel that goes through the details. I think the thumbnail says how I saved or created 10 grand or something. Go watch the video. But what I did this morning is I'm like, how good could this be if I bought $100 million apartment? Not saying I'm going to do that, but I just wanted to do the math because math, like Lumberjack says, it's just math. Okay, Sonny, here you go. So, 100 math with me. First off, just like a house, you need to subtract the land because land is not depreciated. So what I'm going to assume is 20% of the value is land. So whack, 100 million goes to 80 million. The other thing you need to realize is commercial is 33-year amortization on depreciation, not 28 and a half or whatever it is. So let's do this together. So again, I'm pulling out my calculator. So 80 million bucks, just so you have a frame of reference, divided by 33, that equals $2.4 million. So normally you could write off $2.4 million, which if you had so let's do this, $2.4 million times, let's say 35% taxes would mean that you could hide or have an $840,000 impact on cash. Not bad. But let's say you did cost segregation and bonus depreciation. This is what a lot of syndicators, this is what Grant Cardone is doing today. And it's genius. Okay? Watch. There's a chance that Grant Cardone pays 0 taxes with all the deals he's doing. This is freaking amazing. So watch this. I got to get my, 80 million bucks. What we're going to do here is just like my cost segregation and my little duplex, we're going to assume that 35% of that could be put into categories of 5, 7, or 15. And then given the rules of the road, all of that can be pushed into year 1. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch that video. So let's times 80 million times 35%. Got confused. 80 million, sorry, times 0.35. So you get to write off $28 million. That's the write-off. 28 million bucks instead of 2.4 million. So that's like 12x. But hey, write-off of 28 million is not cash. So let's assume you pay 33% federal income tax. So let's take 28 million times 0.33. Grant or anybody buying $100 million building is going to write off and have an impact of $9.2 million. Yeah, those rich boys who can call themselves real estate professionals, they are hiding all their income. The IRS is getting bupkis. Pretty amazing stuff. Thinking big, going after those bigger deals, using the tax code to your benefit. I thought that was that's pretty eye-opening. 10 million bucks roughly. Now you go out and buy a jet. I think he just got his new jet delivered. That's all a write-off. Woo! Man, using the tax code to your advantage. All right. Angel Goat, thank you, man. I'm out here changing outlets on my new acquisition. I love that. All right, keep them coming. I got 2 more topics that I came prepared for. Number 3. Where's number 3? I want to talk about what your number is. What's your goal? What's your this? What's your number? I'm starting to see in the Three Amigos FI group, Financial Independence Group, that a lot of people are talking about like this number, like 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand a month. I mean, that's a number, but that's not the number. I talk about this probably once every 2 weeks, but until I see more people do it, I'm going to keep talking about it. We need to figure out how much we spend every month. You need to get your money right is a course that everybody should take. You need to figure out how much money you spend. You then need to audit that for needs versus wants, because if you cut out some wants, you can save more money and get this income snowball that Dion talks about more. Budgeting was critical for the lumberjack, I and Dion and Anna and all of these others, because it's really lays the foundation for those early seeds. You got to know what your number is. So I still remember that interview. I forget his name, a young man in Seattle, I believe, where he told us at near the end of the video that his financial number was 20 grand. And I don't know if you saw my face, but I almost lost it because I hear it so often. That's not your number. At least it's not your first number. Please go back and look at your checking account or debit card or credit card or PayPal account or all the above. Figure out what you spend every month. Then, you're going to have a long list. Then I want you to sit down with somebody you know, trust, respect, maybe your significant other, and go needs versus wants. Let's say you spent $8,612. 600 or 6,400 and whatever, 87 is needs. The other is wants. That's a ratio. 72% needs, 28% wants. Well, we can trim some of those wants. Olivia, the only reason that we were able to take advantage of 2010 is because Olivia and I only took care of our needs for 5 years before that. I hope you hear that. We were sacrificing wants for 5 years, which gave us the nest egg, the firepower to go ham in 2010. And what I mean by ham is we had an extra 40 grand. That's all we had. But we were able to recycle that 40 grand over and over and over and over again via private money. We didn't have these people that think we had piles of cash are greatly mistaken. We had 40 grand in the beginning, which I burned on the first 3 houses. Then we had $40,000 in 2010, which we took and recycled as fast as we could over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's expensive to live in the Bay Area. I live in the most expensive county in the country. People that think, oh, you made six figures, it was easy for you. Are you freaking kidding me? Replacing two six-figure incomes is crazy. Have you ever played the cash flow game from Robert Kiyosaki? I think it's called Cash Flow. Try to play that game as a doctor or a lawyer against somebody who is a teacher or a policeman. I have never successfully been the first one out. You really want to have fun? Everybody around the table that you play that game with, here's a challenge. If you have the cash flow board game, I want you to play it this weekend with at least 4 people, and I want all of you to be doctors. You want to talk about a game that goes around and around and around and around and around and around? It is crazy hard, right? But again, it was the lifestyle that we had. So again, the house, the taxes, all this stuff. So what is your number? Please go figure that out. All right. Let's see. Sean, plus they used carried interest to pay capital gains instead of earned income. Yes, yes, yes. Yep. When you accelerate depreciation, are you moving forward depreciation? You would have gotten 27 or 33. Yeah, of course. Yep. Yeah. So again, you can go back and watch my video. I give you the whole report on. So again, so on the deal that I just did, straight line depreciation was 2.4 million. If instead you did bonus depreciation and you took out 28 million, that would mean you're only going to depreciate 62 million the rest of the way. So it would probably be like 1.9. Yeah, you're only going to depreciate the 80 million. It's just how you do it. Yes, correct. Dion, 3,000 gets me to my needs, 5,000 gets me my wants. Awesome. I'm a little over 10K now. Dude, you are my hero. Never been good at math. I think I'm getting close. Dion's got this just subtle and amazing sense of humor. I love it. I love it. Aaron, but doesn't financial freedom mean a lot more than just meeting basic needs? No, I don't think it does. I think it starts with basic needs and then you can take it as far as you want. So, no, I disagree with that entirely. I think that's the wrong mindset. I think financial freedom starts with taking care of your needs. And then if you want to go farther, go farther. No, I don't agree with that statement, in my opinion. Mr. Ribeye, Mike, 2 questions. I saved 12 months of reserves for each of my 5 rentals. Wow. Is that too much at 33? Um, so I don't know your risk profile. I don't know your area. I don't know the condition. I don't know any of that. 12 months of reserves for 5 rentals. Man, I got to tell you, that feels like a lot. I'm trying to think what we had when we had 8. So 12 months. No, yeah, that again, I don't know your situation, the numbers, the condition, all of those things. That just feels like a lot to me. Yeah, that's and again, I don't know what you mean by I mean, is it mortgage payment? Is it reserves? Taxes? Feels like a lot. And again, I don't know if your properties are actually cash flowing or if you have 5 alligators. I mean, there's a whole lot. I get really nervous when people, ask me for my opinion and I've got like 7 words of information. I can just tell you it feels like a lot. I don't know if Dion and Matt are still watching, they can leave comments below, but it just feels like a lot. Thinking about selling my one bedroom condo in LA and 1031 into a duplex in Texas. Do the math. Do the math. Realize that so lots of people pick on California and they praise Texas. Realize that Prop 13 has, I don't know when you bought your condo, but you probably have a very low tax basis. Uh, Real estate in Texas, property taxes reset every year. Never forget that. Never forget that. So I don't know. Do the math. Mr. Ribeye, where'd we go? Three Amigos should be renamed the Three Patrons. Huh, that's funny. Mike, I'm in Cali. If there is a tenant that I'm inheriting who I need to evict to move into a unit, I believe I've given them a 60-day notice and then pay them 1 month of rent relocation. I have a California tenant landlord attorney. that I use for all of that, but I think that's right because you're going to move in as the owner. I think that's correct. Oh, you actually might want to check. Some of that might be based on how long they've lived there. If they've lived there 2 years, it might be 90 days. But again, I don't worry about those details. I let my attorneys worry about those details, but that feels right. Am I better off waiting to do this myself after close or trying to get the seller to start this when I'm in escrow? I would always ask. I would always ask. You could also offer cash for keys. Like go have the conversation. I think taking it over vacant would be great. Evictions are never fun. Go have a conversation with the seller saying, "Hey, my intention is to live in that unit. Can we give them cash for keys? Can we do this? Can we do that?" Um, the worst case the seller will say is no. But yeah, I would have the conversation for sure. Watch tablet math and Mormon math YouTube channels. Oh, Moo math. Okay. Yan. I'm sorry. LV Teach Me. Thank you for watching. Sorry, I didn't. Did I say Rob above? I think I did. LV Teach Me. Thank you. Yan. I think you can generate enough cash flow not from W-2 to meet basic needs. It opens up doors for freedom to pursue what you love to do. Yep. That's what I've seen. Yes, I agree. Mr. Ribeye, it's Class A area. I'm just scared about COVID eviction 2.0. Uh, so you're concerned about good old Gavin Newsom, rightly so. Um, yeah, I guess I could say I'm not concerned, but and again, it's in a Class A area. Talk about the part of the economy that wasn't hit by eviction 1.0. Class A wasn't hit. Class A, right, had income thresholds and all these other things. I don't know. If you're again, I say it all the time. Your investment should not keep you up at night. If this is keeping you up at night because Gavin Newsom's a communist, then take care of yourself. It doesn't concern me, but it doesn't matter what concerns me. It only matters what concerns you. It's reserves. I took 12x my monthly rent. Oh wow. So you have more than 12 months of reserves because hopefully your expenses are lower than your rent. You're right. What is he right on? Yeah, you're right. Once you again back to the earlier comment, once you've got your basic needs taken care of, man, the world opens up, less stress. It's amazing. So that's my thought on that. Lumberjack Gap feels like a lot, but no, yeah, don't know enough to be. Yeah, I agree. Yep, the three amigos of FI. Thank you very much. Mike, when you were 33, did you and Olivia start getting sick of corporate grind? I work 50 hours a week with my wife last 12 years, getting tired of and light bulb went on when I read your book. Oh, that's awesome. At 33, got to remember I didn't really change my life until I was 30. By 33, I think we had 4 houses, maybe 3, probably 4. I think we had 4. Um, the corporate grind really didn't hit me until I was 40. Yeah, 38. Yeah, I was just hitting my stride at 33. I was having a lot of fun. It hit Olivia earlier than me. Olivia was, and again, Olivia retired first. So, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the book. Leave a 5-star review if you haven't already. Rob, no worries. Yes, Gavin. Yes, new scum. I like that. It's funny. All right. So, number 4. So, number 4, my final topic. This is in Get Your Money Right, but it is very important. I want you to think time, not price tag. All of us, or many of us, most of us are going to be buying Christmas gifts or holiday gifts for people this year. This is a great time to understand what things cost. So if you go to Best Buy and you buy a video game console, or you buy some fancy new shoes or a leather jacket or whatever you're going to buy, and you look at the price tag and it says 499 or 500 bucks. I do not want you to think that's $500. I challenge each and every one of you, all 75 people watching and the thousands that will watch this on replay. I do not want you to think it costs 500. I want you to understand how many hours of your future you are selling. Stop thinking price, think time. We so easily walk into stores and slap credit cards and debit cards and cash on the counter, not realizing that you are selling your future. I want you to calculate your true discretionary income. So if you make 12,000, or I don't know, let's do better math. 48 grand a year, you make 4,000 a month. Nope, that's not what I want you to think. I want you to take out taxes. Now instead of 48, it's 36 or whatever it is. Nope, I want you to take out rent in food, in car, in student loans, and this, that, the other. That $500, for some of you, it is going to be 10 hours of your life. For some of you, it's going to be 24 hours of your life. And for some of you, it could be 100 hours because you have no discretionary income or very little left. I believe if everyone thought about time and the fact that you are literally selling your future life away, one credit card purchase at a time, you might not buy that thing. These were all things that hit me as I was on this journey. Do the math. It's only math. Think about it. How much time are you selling? If you are financially free and you're Dion and you make 10 grand and need 3, it doesn't matter. You're not selling your future. Most of us, we're selling our future every freaking day. I wish more people would think about it. If you want to do the exercise, it's in the course, Get Your Money Right. There's also a choices exercise that you've seen Dion, Matt, and I all do, as for most of my experts. The rat race is real. The rat race is real. Most of us are staying in the rat race and making the wheel bigger because of our daily financial choices. The holidays are the worst. Oh, the holidays are the worst. You're buying things to put smiles on people's faces that last 5 seconds, and you're signing up for 50, 100, 200 hours of your future. Don't do it. Don't do it. Would you consider creating a poll on your Facebook page to survey people's numbers to get their expenses covered? Example choice 1. I would love to do that. I have no idea how to do that, but you know what? Maybe we can do that in Dion and Matt and I's the Three Amigos Facebook group. I am non-technical. I have no idea how to create a poll, but I think that's a great example. Yeah, I use simple math, living off one salary. It's amazing how it compounds. Yes, totally, totally get it. Make crafts. Yes. LV Teach Me. Yes. Instead of walking in, this is so amazing. Here's the deal. You can go buy that fancy new thing, and most of the time the kids like the box more than the thing. It's just crazy how that works. Or you could create something that you put your time and energy in, and it'll be a memory. I don't know. I think LV Teach Me is onto something. If you're in that position where you're selling, if you are selling, let's just go back to that 500 example. Sorry, a little soapboxy today. Let's think about this. If you are selling more than 5 hours of your future, that means you have $100 uh, an hour disposable income, which you're living pretty good if that's the case. If you're if you're selling more than 5 hours of your life to buy that $500 thing, let's let's try to do it differently. You don't know what I'm talking about. It's just math. It's in the course. Get your money right. More and more people need to do it. Yeah, it's crazy. So, anyways, those are the four things I had. Again, I want to hear from all of you. What are the three things that changed your life? Remember, mine was a speech class. I found an investment vehicle that matched my ability to focus and daily execute with my emotional sell, sell, sell. And then number three, I didn't go back to work. I really chose to try to create this one rental at a time thing. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what your number is. And again, do the math. Figure out what your disposable income is. Do the math on 500 bucks and tell me how many hours you're selling of your future. So, folks, this is a lot of fun. Thank you, all 89 of you that are still watching this. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you watch it on replay, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. I will see my students in 9 minutes. Bye bye.